Jay, welcome back to the Wrassingh Show. What an absolute privilege it is to talk to you today.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Jay,
hitting me up and want to know what's going on with the Gawd.
Oh yeah, and Jay, the Gawd, that it's become our interviews. They've sort of become an annual tradition. I mean, we did our first interview together when Wrasslinews was in its first year. And then I had the pleasure of interviewing you in the second year and the third year. And now we're doing it for the fourth time in the 4 years in a row. It's incredible, Jay. Thank you so much.
Let's keep the tradition alive.
I know, we got to keep the tradition alive. It's such an honor to have you back with us. Your energy is so good. It's given me all the energy. And let's get into this interview right now. So, Jay, a lot has happened since the last time we chatted. You have accomplished a lot. You have made big moves, and you have made a true impact in the wrestling industry. I mean, this past year, you fought guys like Bryan Cage, EC3, Trey Miguel, Chris Adonis, and this Friday, you're facing the monstrous Moose. I mean, you are, sir, on a roll. And you know what fascinates me the most about you, Jay, is that unlike any other wrestlers, it's not just what you have done in the ring is what is so impressive. It's also the tremendous work you are doing outside of the ring. It blows my mind. But before we get to any of that, JTG, you have completely reinvented yourself. I mean, your hair, your new look, your new wrestling gear, your new attitude. I mean, please tell us, what was the reason behind this change? What made JTG Jay the God?
Well, with that unfortunate incident that happened in 2020 with my tag team partner, I contemplated never even stepping back into a wrestling ring because of all the, I would say, trauma and what I was going through, depression, and I didn't want to be reminded of it being around the wrestling atmosphere, the wrestling environment. But I had a long, good talk within myself. And what I would like to say, Shad too. And he told me to keep moving forward. And here I am today. I had to, I can't do the Cryme time anymore. But moving forward, I still got to represent the team, putting my best foot forward. And I had to reinvent myself. And even though I reinvented myself, I'm still repping Cryme time for life.
Absolutely. And I mean, you are keeping Shad's and Cryme Time's legacy alive till this day, doing an incredible job. And Shad, whenever I hear his name, I get goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now because he left such a void in all of our lives. Jay, I knew Shad through you. First, I got to know you personally, and then, you introduced me to Shad, and that's how I got to know him. But I consider, just like you, a brother, I considered him a brother. And not a day goes by when I don't think of Shad. And sometimes I just pick up my Instagram because, we have these chats, and sometimes I can't help myself. I just text on his Instagram. I'm like, I DM him like, I miss you, Shad. He left such a void. And I'm so happy to see the work you're doing. You're keeping Shad alive and you're keeping his legacy alive. You're just doing an incredible job. But,
Thank you.
But coming back to Jay the God. I mean, Jay, we do surveys with our followers about the current wrestlers, the wrestling programming. And when you debuted this new look, most of our followers were talking about your new ring gear, which now includes trunks. So I'd like to ask you, how is it to perform in trunks? I mean, you've been performing in denim jeans for a long time. So do you find trunks more comfortable, or, you were used to those?
Oh no, I prefer the trunks a lot more better. I get a lot more better. I get more freedom. I could jump, and then with the boots, so I'm wearing wrestling boots now. So wearing Timbs for all those years, it definitely weighed me down a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit more. Right now, I could actually do some high flying stuff now, but I'm not. But with the weight off my feet and the jeans holding me down, those jeans weigh about a good 1 or 2 pounds, but. The trunks feels liberating, and I'm glad everybody likes it. And I had to adjust to the trunks because for all those years I was wearing jeans, so I didn't train legs that much. I don't be that guy I didn't want to be that guy with the bigger upper body. So I started training legs twice a week, so it could catch up to my my upper body. But yeah, everything's proportioned out right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, it's incredible. You've broken out of that shell, and now you can do high flying, and you can do all the stuff that the genes restricted you from doing before. It's incredible, incredible. So Jay, when we spoke last year, it was a very insightful interview, and in that interview, you made 3 big promises. You told me that there will be an ebook coming up, and it did. You told me that there would be a big surprise project coming up, and it did. And you told me that you would be having the gold around your waist the next time we catch up, and you do have a gold around your waist. Not literally, but you do have it in your position. So in this past year, you won your first singles championship, that is a VIP heavyweight title, which you have successfully defended numerous times. And as we speak right now, I believe today is day 264 of your reign as a VIP champion. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's incredible. You're better than John Cena, because John Cena as WWE champion was like 199 days and you 264. So you're much better, I can tell you that. So
I appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't even think about it like that.
So tell us, Jay, tell us a little bit about the VIP wrestling promotion, and how did you decide to go for their championship?
Yeah, so I was actually the VIP tag team champion with Shad, tag team champions with Shad, and then we had to forfeit the tag team titles due to the incident. And after that, I had to keep the momentum going, I had to keep the ball going, and I was put into a fatal 4-way match, and I was able to come victorious after defeating all the other three opponents, and I've been defending my belt for almost a year now, and I've been having battles with guys like EC3, Homicide, Carlito, and Moose is this Friday, and he's the wrestling god, and I'm Jay the God. So there's gonna be a battle of the gods this Friday. That's something you definitely don't want to miss. Whoever's watching, you guys do not want to miss this Friday.
Definitely. And Jay, the thing about you is that you're everywhere. I mean, you do not hesitate to show up. If there's a challenge in front of you, you show up there, no matter what promotion. And as a wrestler, as a superstar who works the independent circuit too, how did you feel about the GCW event, which saw Matt Cardona getting trashed by the fans after his huge win over Nick Cage? I mean, you are quite familiar with GCW yourself. So did you feel like a boundary was crossed at that event?
Absolutely. I don't think a boundary was crossed. I think that's the type of heat that heels want. It's been a long time since you've seen a bad guy garnish that much heat that Zack Ryder has accumulated the past couple of weeks. And after he still won the title, he's still getting heat. He's posting pictures in Disneyland with the title. Yeah. I love it. He's doing a good job as a heel, and I wish him more success.
It's incredible. I mean, nobody would have thought that Zack Ryder, the babyface WWE Zack Ryder, would show up at GCW in this new persona, new personality. It's a different guy altogether. Shows that WWE, getting fired from WWE is not the end for you. You can reinvent yourself and be better, much better.
Oh yeah. And I'm an example of that. I want to prove to everybody in the independent scene, and anybody who's under contract now, who does get released. There's life after WWE. You could keep pushing forward, even if it's inside the ring or outside the ring. If you're in the WWE, that means you had a vision or a goal, and you went after it, and you could do the same thing with other projects. I'm doing more than professional wrestling. I have a vision, and I have ideas, and I manifest them, and that's what life is all about.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And Jay, we talked about GCW, we talked about VIP wrestling, but these aren't the only promotions that have been blessed by Jay the God. You also recently made your NWA debut. And NWA is such a gold standard for promotion. I mean, the stage itself is so iconic. So what was going through your mind when you made your debut for the company?
When I made my debut for the company and after my match, I was so happy that I picked up the phone. I almost didn't wasn't gonna make the booking because that same week I was scheduled to shoot a TV series out here in LA, and I called the one of the people in charge, and I was like, look, I need that. Is this guaranteed? Like, you haven't given me like the stuff any paperwork to sign, or I know I have you slated for this date for these 2 days, and they were like, and I told them that I have other potential booking I'm interested in. This NWA's wrestling. I definitely want to do this, and she was like, you know what? We'll let me call the directors and the I forgot what they call them. People who put the money up.
The producers.
Yeah, producers, and we'll see if we can reschedule your dates for another time. And we don't want to stop you from, pursuing your career. Got the call back. They was like, yeah, we reschedule it. Go do your thing for NWA. And I was happy. As soon as I got the call, I hit up NWA and I was on my way.
Absolutely. And I've always noticed this. I mean, you've made appearances for numerous Netflix series. You've made appearances for Sharknado commercials, but you have always kept wrestling as your first love, as your priority over anything else.
Yes. Wrestling is definitely my first passion. Right now, I'm definitely very passionate about it. Sometimes you lose your passion and you start going different directions, but once you get back on course, I stay on course.
Absolutely. So Jay, how is it like so far? You've been with NWA for some time now. How is it working with the company?
Oh, it's amazing. I love working with them. The locker room is amazing. Everyone has the same vision and same concept of wrestling. We're there to tell a story. And we all know that less is more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Jay, now it just came to my mind during our first interview. You told me something about WWE's locker room, and you told me that if somebody shows up with sunglasses like this in the WWE locker room, they're gonna get heat. Right. So is NWA locker rooms, similar in that manner, or is it
absolutely not? Everybody there's I don't know if WWE is like that anymore, but I knew when I was there, it was walking on eggshells. If you wore shades, they'll look at you like, and you haven't been there long enough. They'll look at you like, oh, this guy thinks he's a star. He's just walking in here. There's no sun in the building. Why you need shades? That he thinks he's Hollywood. But no, nothing like that at NWA. I could walk in there with shades and no one's gonna bat an eye.
And Jay, I took your advice because I did some interviews for WWE for WrestleMania, and for those interviews, I never take off my shades. But for those interviews, I took your advice and I took off my shades. I said, "This is my show. I'm not risking it. I'm taking Jay's advice." So speaking of paperwork, you said that you didn't sign any paperwork back then. Have you signed a contract with NWA as of now?
No, I haven't signed with anybody yet. I'm gonna wait out my options and take the best deal. But NWA right now is home, and I'm gonna treat it as such. And yeah,
awesome. That was awesome, Jay. So this year we have seen, a lot of, just like you said, a lot of dream matches from you. Let it be Jay the God versus EC3, Chris Adonis, Frederick Rosser, even Too Cold Scorpio. I mean, we've seen a lot of dream matches happen because of you. So which match out of all of these, matches that you've wrestled in this past year, which match has been your own personal favorite?
I will have to say one of my recent matches. Not a lot of people know him, but his name is Travis Huckabee. I had a great match with him, and the reason why it was great is because that match was just straight wrestling. We told a story. There was no dives, no super kicks, no weapons, no DQs. No whole bunch of flippity doodah spots. It was just wrestling with great story, with a great story, and we went out there and we blew the roof off. You know, some people say that we stole the show, and I would like to agree. You know, so shout out to Travis Huckabee. He was a great opponent. He's a technical wrestler, and we put both of our match styles together, and we came up with a masterpiece.
That is awesome. Travis, baby, got to check him out. So talking about dream matches, Jay, you know, since we're talking about dream matches, let's talk about WrestleMania this year. Did you watch the show?
Did I? Yeah, yes, I was there. I was in, where was it again? It was, yeah, I was in Tampa. Yep, I was in Tampa, yeah.
And were you impressed by the whole pay-per-view?
I was impressed. You know, I was kind of upset that they had to split it in 2 days. I wish you could have done, and then the rain too. But other than that, the matches were great. And I think the main event for the first night was amazing. Seeing Sasha Banks and Sasha Banks and what's the other? It's slipping my mind right now.
Bianca Belair. Yeah.
Bianca Belair, the EST. Yeah, she did. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, definitely. So, but you know, the thing about WrestleMania 37, which really amuses me now, is that a lot of the big stars who were a part of WrestleMania 37, now a few months later, are no longer with the company. And with the, you know, we talk about Braun Strowman, we talk about Daniel Bryan, there's so many of them. And with a lot of budget cuts coming from Nick Khan and Vince McMahon, a lot of people and dirt sheets, they're speculating that WWE is getting ready for an official sale, that the company will be sold. I don't believe that. I don't think WWE is going anywhere.
Yeah, I hope not.
What do you think?
I hope not. I hope the rumors are not true. I would like to see the WWE stay in the McMahon family.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, if it was just my personal opinion, I would love to have Shane McMahon in charge. When I was there, Shane was his energy and his what he brought to the table. I think he'll do WWE. He'll keep the legacy alive.
That's very interesting, Jay, because, you know, a lot of people would say, we would like.
They would say Stephanie or Triple H.
Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. I want to know a little more about it. Can you tell us why Shane and why not Triple H and Stephanie? I know it's a little spicy, but, you know, I'd like to know.
No, for me, I would just like to see the legacy continue on. You know, it was from Vince McMahon Sr. to Vince McMahon. And I think that Shane solo would do it great, you know, because when you have Stephanie and Triple H, those are two minds. You know, you got two cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
I think Shane, you know, I think if he was just the captain, I think he would do a great job as the new chairman of the WWE.
I definitely agree with you. And if you talk about Triple H, for example, you know, the work he's done with NXT, I mean, they're still calling NXT a developmental brand, but they're treating it as a main roster brand. They're treating it as their own third brand. What do you think about NXT? You know, are you happy with the product? Is there something that they could have changed?
I only get the information that I get on social media from NXT. I only get the information from social media, and I hear news from my peers and other fans. It seems like NXT is doing a good job right now, but I don't think being called a developmental, something's called a developmental, that gives you the liberty and freedom to make mistakes and try things out.
Right.
I don't think you have that liberty on NXT Redemption. NXT, yeah. If you mess up more than once, you know, that could be you getting that call.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely agree with you. So we were just talking about WrestleMania, and one of the stars that WWE lost this year is Daniel Bryan, who was also part of WrestleMania 37. And he is now rumored to join All Elite Wrestling along with CM Punk. Do you think there is any truth to those rumors?
I hope it's true, because it would change the landscape of professional wrestling. And I think it would do the wrestling business in total good, you know, more eyes on the company. on wrestling, not just on the company, but more eyes on wrestling. And if you never want to have you never want to have one company have a monopoly over the business. You always want to have options. So I think with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, that will definitely raise the stock of AEW, and with a talent like such as myself, comes to terms with a contract. It's always good to have some options.
I mean, I'm really not happy with AEW. I'll be honest, I don't even watch their shows every single week because I said it last year when I was talking to you. I said, I'll start watching AEW when Cody Rhodes accepts your damn challenge for the TNT title, which he did not. So I think he's a scared cat. Like, why would he not accept your challenge, So until and unless they don't have Jay the God on their roster, I'm not watching.
There you go.
I'm very serious about that right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But coming back to WrestleMania, do you remember WrestleMania 35? We met, Shad was there. We met at the Bullet Club party.
I remember that.
You made it. Those were some good times. So I heard, Jay, that you wanted Kofi Kingston to sign your WrestleMania 35 chair. Did that happen?
He hasn't signed it yet.
He has.
No, it doesn't. And now I have a New Day pop toy. Yeah, so it's Kofi, Xavier, and Big E is in there. So now I got to get the three of them to sign it. I put it on Twitter. I'm like, don't make this awkward, guys. Yeah. So let me ask. Just take my Sharpie and sign.
But that's outrageous. It's been over 2 years since WrestleMania 35 happened, and he still hasn't signed it. I'll make sure this gets to him and he signs it. By the time we do the next interview next year, you'll have everything signed. I'm telling you that.
I appreciate that. So now that I know that I'm gonna get some more New Day paraphernalia.
Get everything you want. Get it. You have my word. You have my word. All right. So since we just talked about WrestleMania, I want to talk to you a little bit about Hall of Fame. The spiciness is not over yet. A few notable inductees went in this year. We had the Bella Twins, we had JBL, we had Titus O'Neil, the Great Khali, and of course Hulk Hogan got inducted for the second time this year. So how do you feel about the inductions?
I'm cool with it. There was a little controversy with the Titus O'Neil because everyone felt that it should have been Shad, but WWE they were in Tampa, and that is where Titus O'Neil is from. Yeah. So it made sense on a business level, and Shad Shad is going to be a hero. It will be considered a hero until the end of time, so they could induct Shad this year, next year. It doesn't matter. His name is, as long as I'm still breathing, his name will still be alive.
I feel like Shad and the life he lived and the ultimate sacrifice he made. No matter how big of a prize, how big of an award it might be, it won't do enough to honor the man that he was and the legacy he left behind. So. Yeah, I mean, the Warrior Award should be renamed to the Gaspard Award. That would be justice, honestly, because Shad is that hero. But do you know if WWE made any attempts to reach out to Celiana or the Gaspard family regarding the Warrior Award or anything at all?
I don't think so. I think they would have. I think Shad's wife. We still stay in contact. She would have told me or let me know. Definitely. And they definitely didn't reach out to me. I did do like some interviews with WWE, talking about Shad's legacy. But as far as Hall of Fame or the Warrior Award, no, I didn't hear anything. They didn't reach out.
Well, it's going to happen. Though. It's definitely going to happen when they feel the time is right. It will happen. Yeah. Well, another person who got inducted this time, as I mentioned, was Hulk Hogan, and you obviously were one of the many people, many stars and fans who found it hard to forgive Hulk Hogan for being, racist, and he got inducted for the second time this time. So, do you still feel the same way about Hulk Hogan, or have you forgiven him?
I could definitely say I have not forgiven him because I don't think he's done anything for me to that wants to be forgiven. I know when someone's truly sincere about about a mistake that they made. I think I'm old enough and wise enough to know when somebody is really sincere about asking for forgiveness on making a mistake. But I don't know if Hulk Hogan considers his action a mistake. He just got caught. I had to go back and listen to it a few times because at the end of the day, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. He revolutionized the wrestling, and when God forbid when that day happens, when that hashtag is on Twitter, RIP Hulk Hogan. Even though as very disappointed I am in him, I'm still going to be a little hurt. I don't hate the guy. I'm just very disappointed. And out of his own mouth, he said that he is racist. He said it. Forget that. What he said prior to that, he said that out of his mouth that he's a racist. So it's kind of hard for me to forgive that. After and then just apologizing and not putting any action towards your apology. Doing anything in the Black community or stepping up. He didn't do anything in that regard. He just wanted to say sorry and just forget and move on. Nah, it don't work like that anymore.
But the thing about this whole scandal of racism in Hulk Hogan, the thing that I feel really made a difference was not Hulk Hogan's apology. It was what the wrestlers of color did. They made a difference. They made a change. I mean, look at GCW. They have a For the Culture event. Look at WWE. They have a black heavyweight champion right now. I mean, the wrestlers of color really made a change to the business, and people acknowledge them now. People acknowledge them for who they are, and they're excellent athletes and excellent wrestlers. It's very important for us to fight this racism and this xenophobia. The reason why, Jay, I have this, my logo of my podcast is a turban, is because I want to fight the xenophobia. I'll tell you, the first time I revealed myself with a turban on my Instagram page, I lost a lot of followers. I got a lot of hate comments. And that is a thing I decided that, hey, you know what, you hate this, you're going to get it. I'm going to have my face on the podcast. I'm going to do this podcast, and you have to accept it because we're living in 2021. We're fighting against racism and xenophobia. So the wrestlers of color have done an incredible job, and Hulk Hogan's apology doesn't mean, anything now. I agree.
Yeah.
So, I was on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram and followers, I was on Instagram the other day, and I was looking at Celiana's Instagram, and I saw how, their son, Ariyah, how well he's being trained. I mean, we talked about it the last time we chatted, that Shad trained him in boxing and everything. And it seems like Celiana is keeping that up. She's training him hard, and Ariyah is just as determined and just as focused to be great in what he does. I feel like we have a future world heavyweight champion in the making.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have definitely a second generation superstar. If it's in a wrestling ring, or if it's in boxing, or if it's in mixed martial arts. Shad was training his son in all. I know he wasn't training him in wrestling yet, but he was definitely training him in boxing and mixed martial arts. So yeah, he's a walking machine. That little kid, that little Gaspard.
He is. Shad lives on through him, through Celiana, through you. And, you are keeping his legacy alive, not just through your in-ring work, but you also recently announced the Tyme NFT collection, which I believe is some sort of a digital asset. Can you tell us something about this project of yours? Because it's very interesting to me.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to launching that. I was up late last night, trying to upload these NFTs. There's a little bit of a learning curve right here because it's still new to me. But NFTs are non-fungible tokens that can be traded, sold, or just kept as a bragging rights. You have the rights to them. So what I've done was I created 10 pieces, and they're different tiers. So the first tier is a bronze tier. That's a limited edition piece, 1 out of 50. And then there's a silver, 6 pieces of Cryme Tyme art, 6 different designs, and that's, I believe, is 1 out of 1 out of 25. And then we have the gold, which is 2 pieces, which is going to be 1 out of 10. And then the gold, after the gold, there's a platinum one, which is 1 out of 1. That's going to be a very expensive one, which I know which will fly off the shelves as soon as it's released. I'm going to do a auction, and I'm going to have a buy it now button, and I don't know how long that one's going to last, but I can't wait to unveil that one. But yes, I have 10 pieces. You get them. And the thing with crypto is you want to get them early because you don't know how much they're going to be worth in a few years or a few months. Right now, this is you're a Crime Time fan now. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, you don't know where my career is going or how relevant I'm going to be. That price goes up. Yeah, so you get them while they're cheap now. Just like Bitcoin, you get them while it's low, and then you sell or trade later. Or you could put them in a digital frame and put it in your wrestling museum.
That's incredible. That's incredible, Jay. Absolutely. Wow. So you stayed up late last night uploading these, and I woke you up at 7 o'clock. I feel super good.
It's all right, man. It's all good.
Wow. I'm really excited for these. So do we have any idea when are these going to be available to the public?
As soon as I upload them, and then I'm going to do a press release. So I'm going to say 2 weeks max.
Wow.
So it's definitely going to be in August that I'll be revealing these NXTs to the world.
That's incredible.
I can't wait.
That is,
and then a lot of the artwork is was definitely inspired by Shad. Shad was a big fan of anime. He was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. Then I have some ones that I created myself, and then I also have some pieces that some artists helped me with, and it's going to be great.
Definitely, it's going to be amazing. And that's what I was talking about, Jay. I mean, this stuff takes a lot of creativity. And not just that, it takes a lot of brains. I mean, to come up with something like NFTs, I mean, it's incredible. It's very, very creative. And definitely, it's going to be very well received by the public. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of this interview. The work that you've done inside the ring and outside the ring is it blows my mind. I mean, this year, you released your ebook to help people get bicep like yours. In addition, you release your TMOS, which is a product created with men in mind. Can you tell us something about TMOS and why should men take TMOS?
Oh yeah, the TMOS right now is doing very well. I'm getting a lot of positive reviews. Customers are happy. TMOS is testosterone boosting. CMOS itself is an amazing supplement. It releases, it rids of excess mucus of the body, toxins, energy. That's what I take first thing in the morning. That's why I'm always in a good mood. I'm happy. And then it helps with cleansing the digestive tract. It helps with libido. And then on top of that, because I'm into bodybuilding, I added, it used to be 4, now I added 5. There's 5 testosterone boosting natural herbs that's in there that if you take every day, you increase your testosterone levels naturally. And that's what I'm all about. A lot of guys see me in the gym, they keep asking, what are you taking? Are you on steroids, growth hormone, SARMs? And I'm like, all natural. And they're just like blown away. I tell them that I have my own product that's called testosterone boosting CMOS. They look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm just trying to sell them something. And then I break it down to them, all the ingredients in it. That's Tonga Elite, Triplex Tetris, Ball B Natalis. They're like, I heard of these ingredients. These ingredients are in some GNC products, but they don't put them all together. So I did that with TMOS, and it's flying off the shelves.
Incredible. And it's not the only product of yours that's flying off the shelves. You also have your sexy as hell beard care, because of which you have such a great beard, which is also selling extremely well. And then you also are the founder of the audio meme ERC app. I mean, you do so much work. It blows my mind. Like, how can one person come up with so much stuff? It's incredible, Jay. I mean, I've got so much respect for you, and everything you touch, it becomes gold. just like Midas, you know, you touch the wrestling, it's gold, you touch the products, it's gold. It's amazing. I mean, you've done an incredible job. This past year has been full of prosperity and success for you. And I'm sure the upcoming year is going to be even more successful for you. But right now, what you've got in your radar, the greatest challenge in front of you is Moose, who you're going to be facing this Friday on July 30. So are you ready for Moose?
Oh, I'm definitely ready for Moose. You know, as soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm going to finish taking care of some orders and I'm going to the gym.
Okay.
You know, this Friday, you know, Moose is a big guy. He's definitely taller than me. But I have the heart of a champion. So
Definitely.
he's got to fight this Friday.
Oh, I know. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. JTG is going to win. It's going to defeat the Moose. It's going to happen. When Moose is in the rearview mirror, what goals do you have for the next year?
Oh, man, I have a bunch of goals. You know, I definitely want to get some gold at NWA. We will be in St. Louis this August, so I'm looking forward to that. What I got in store, you know, me and Fred have some unfinished business, some things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I got a bunch of like every weekend I have a show. I'm thinking about taking some time off in December because until November, all my weekends are pretty much booked. Okay. And you know, I'm not complaining. I'm definitely blessed to have those bookings and be able to perfect my craft and do what I love to do. But the body definitely needs a break. So in December, I might have to take that month off, you know, just to get the mind and body right. And then in January, the start of 2022, you know, get back the momentum.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, last year you promised me 3 goals of yours, which you accomplished, and I'm sure that the goals you just listed right now you're gonna accomplish, and we're gonna be talking about it next year when we catch up for our 5th interview in a row. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. What you've done in this past year blows my mind and is so inspiring to everybody listening to this podcast right now. But before you go, I've got just one last question for you, Jay. More like a comparison. So WWE's breakout star, Matt Riddle, is 35 years old. AEW's breakout star, Orange Cassidy, is about 37 years old. You are only 36 and you have accomplished so much already. So when are we going to see you in WWE or AEW and show those people who the real star is?
As soon as they pick up the phone and make that phone call and they make the right deal, and then we could we could start talking about that. But yeah, right now I'm enjoying the indies. I'm enjoying my freedom. Yeah. And until they make that phone call, you'll be the first to know.
Awesome, Jay. It's such a pleasure talking to you every time. You know, as you said, TMOS, you know, it makes your mood happy. It keeps you positive, and we can feel that positivity through this computer screen.
You can see the skin glowing.
I can see the skin glowing. I can see.
It's good for your skin, for your nails, for your hair. So. Yeah, I'm a walking billboard for my brand.
So guys gotta go to t-moss.com, go to Sexy as Hell Beard Care, and get your products right now. Jay, thank you so much for your time. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. Can't wait for interview number 5 next year. Thank you so much, Jay.
Sounds good, man. Let's do it.